Hello again, and this is Richard Clue from richardclue.wordpress.com. This is a video based on a blog post of mine about 4 tips for writing 1,500 words a day. This has been a fairly popular post on my website. It's simple stuff too. It's nothing surprising. Basically, if you make a habit of it, you can write 1,500 words a day. Everyone can write 1,500 words a day. It's not that hard. If you want to write that much, and maybe you don't want to write that much, maybe you want to write 500 words a day, maybe you want to write 700 or 1,000 words a day. However much you want to write a day, this is how you're going to do it. It's really simple. You set the time aside every day for the amount that you want to do. Maybe you think it'll take you 30 minutes, maybe it'll take you an hour. That is your time. Set it aside. After you put the kids to sleep, before you go to work, after work, your lunch break, whenever you're going to do it, that is your time. Every day, that is what you're doing at that time. If you have to move that time, move it. But you do it every day for that amount of time, preferably at the same time every day, to build a habit. So at that time of day, your brain fires up and it says, all right, it's time to start writing. So right before it, you're going to start thinking of some stuff. You're going to write it all out. You're ready to go. Your brain is ready. Another thing, too, is when you first start doing this, it's not going to work that well. You're going to write a lot of junk. As writers, we're used to writing junk. Nothing you write is gold the first time through, and nothing you write is and a lot of stuff we write isn't gold. Imagine how much stuff people threw away before they wrote their first novel or their first really successful novel. The book Carrie of Stephen King almost got thrown away. There is a lot that we create that isn't good. I create a lot that isn't good, and that's because you have to get ideas out. So if I have 10 ideas, I write out 10 ideas, I expand 10 ideas, maybe 3 of them are still good enough to form into a story. Of those 3, maybe one of them is only really interesting enough to me long enough to really get it going into a full story. Doesn't mean the other ones weren't good ideas necessarily, but maybe I wasn't going to write them very well, maybe I didn't know how to feel right writing them, but really, you're not going to write something great every day. This isn't 1,500 words a day, isn't 1,500 words we're going to publish a day, every day. This is 1,500 words of solid writing every day, and of that, even if you get half of it is worth keeping after edits, you're going to make a lot more progress than if you wrote 700 words and you worried about it being perfect the whole way through. You write one sentence, it doesn't feel right, but you don't know how to fix it immediately, go to the next sentence. Reading books, listening to audiobooks are going to help you write. Putting the time aside to do it, it's taxing. Putting the time aside to read books can be taxing too. Personally, I like to listen to audiobooks. I'm thankful enough to afford a job where I work at a desk and I can listen to audiobooks all day. So I listen to audiobooks while I'm doing other stuff. I listen to audiobook in the car. I listen to audiobook when I exercise. I will read. I take in literature. I take in writing from other authors constantly. Why? You learn more by doing that. You're going to learn more so you can apply more. It's like anything else. You play more football, you're better at football. You learn more about how to play chess. You read a book about chess, you play better chess. I had a friend, me and him used to play chess every day. It turned into us playing 3 times. He'd win once, I'd win the second time, he'd win the third time. Why? He was reading chess books on tactics, and I was just playing based on what I learned. So the first game, I'd learn about the new tactic he had, and then I would counter it. In the second game, he'd know how I would want to counter his new tactic that he learned, and then he'd counter my counter, because we just kind of learn from each other like that. And you learn, the more you do, the more you learn. So the more you write, the more you learn. The more you read, the more you learn. So you learn how other authors handle situations, so you know how you would want to handle that situation. Because, I really liked the way that blah 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 handled that fight scene, so I want to put that in my book. And I really liked the way that Jimmy over here handled this romance scene. It wasn't really gushy, but it got to the point and it was quick. I now know how to kind of do that in my own story without copying, obviously, but it helps. Reading helps. You can't write if you don't read. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't make sense. If you're not reading and you're writing, read a bunch of books. Take a month off writing and just, or no, well, don't take a month off writing, but take a month, write half as much, and read books the rest of the time. Your writing will improve an insane amount, especially if you read them in print instead of just listening to books. Reading in print is going to help you even more because you're going to see sentence structure and where commas go and kind of how they break things up. That helps a lot more too because when I first started writing, I was like, I enjoy writing, I don't enjoy reading that much. But then I kind of fell in love with reading by writing. So, lastly, like I said here, do it. Do it and you'll form into a habit. Make sure you do it. It's hard. It's a hard thing to do. Forcing yourself to do it sometimes. I mean, your buddies want to go out for a beer after work. Go out for a beer after work. Get back home. Do it. Write it. I don't care if you had 6 beers. Your wife came and picked you up because 6 beers is too much for you to drive. Come home. Write a bunch of stuff. Keep the habit. You might write some interesting stuff when you're drunk. There's writers who have written whole books drunk. Thank you again for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. Tell me what you think in the comments. Subscribe if you really liked it quite a bit, or if you just want to see more. I have full explanation, like I've shown on the screen here, on my blog, richardclue.wordpress.com, and I also have a free ebook there, which currently is At the Tower of Midnight, which is a Lovecraftian style horror story. Have a great day.